In this episode, I want to talk a little bit about IPSC rigs. This is not a truck and trailer type rig. This is the holster, belt, mag pouch assembly that's generally referred to as a rig these days. When I started my competitive shooting career with a Glock 17, I had a simple leather bikini slide holster on my right hip and a Glock issued plastic magazine pouch on my left with a double mag pouch for additional magazines if I needed. I had to assemble this onto the belt every time and make sure it's in the right position, and that was the way it was because there wasn't anything better. Soon after, I realized that having to haul this pistol very high to clear the holster took too long, and I followed the developments in the sport and I looked at a holster similar to this, where you only need to draw the pistol a limited way, not all the way out, and then you can break it out the front. So it's a front break holster, and various versions had more or less support in the front or more or less travel, depending on the holster designer and the make of the pistol. To keep it secure for the infamous holster test, where you had to do standing and turning jumps, there was a tension screw that you could make sure it was safe enough, but these were not designed to go fully upside down always. The sport has evolved further and there's much better equipment available these days. To get the first shot off as fast as possible, you want to retain the pistol, allow a sure grip when you put your hand on the pistol, and lift it up as little as possible. So these were some of the early designs on typically a leather holster, and frequently they were built around individual mag pouches that allowed you to position each and every magazine at just the right place and angle so that you could get it as you moved your hand around your body, taking more or less magazines. This was one of my very early full-on competition rigs. It's a rig now because the holster, the belt, and the mag pouches are permanently assembled. I screwed these items onto the belt so that they're not ever going to move. They're always in exactly the right place for me. And this required putting over the top and no longer through the loops of my belt, which worked but was not ideal because I could end up hauling the whole thing up. Nothing was keeping it secure. So this was not the best solution. As the sport evolved, Safariland introduced the inner belt and the outer belt with Velcro system. Hook and loop fastener, I believe, is the correct general term. And this system from Safariland, they got it wrong because they put the hook part, the rough part, on the inner belt. So when you're wearing it, you're always scraping and it's irritating. And the Velcro they put on the soft part, the loop part, they put on the outer belt. Not sure why, but that was what happened. CR Speed improved the system, and they put the soft part to go through the loops of your pants so you don't scrape your arms and hurt your body with the system, and then the rough part with the hooks are on the outer belt, which is a more elegant solution, and pretty much everybody follows this system these days. The inner belt is flexible enough to go through the loops of your pants and keep everything secure, but it's still got a bit of rigidity built in, and I wear this as a general belt daily in any case. The outer belt is very stiff. It's got plastic stiffeners built inside, so it makes sure that, especially in this direction, there's very little chance of your equipment moving around no matter how hard you tug at it. A modern solution, as these have evolved over the years, has resulted in a very slimline, streamlined holster where if you slide your hand up the back of the holster, you go directly onto a grip on the pistol. You're coming down from a hand surrender position. You can also take a full grip on the pistol. And unlike the early leather systems, you only have to lift the pistol a small amount, a little over an inch, to clear the retention system, and then you can move directly towards the target. The CR Speed system requires a rotation guided by the muzzle support to secure the system, and the design of the retention is such that it won't easily get knocked out. It requires a simple vertical lift, and then you clear the holster easily. When you're not trying to go fast, there's a simple mechanical lock, and now it's really, really difficult to get the pistol out. If you yank hard enough, you can, but it's well secured. The system screws down and is held firmly in place on the belt these days, and the mag pouches, still individual with a whole lot more adjustability designed into them, are also securely retained on the belt. A little bit of movement, so if you need to adjust, maybe you ate too much for lunch, then you can adjust this to suit those small changing needs. Currently, the most modern system on the market is from Double Alpha, their Lynx system. It's got a number of links in the belt. They spell it LYNX, like the animal, but it's a number of links in the belt, with the Velcro or the hook part of the hook and loop fastener built into the link, and it's a system that allows you to end up with a more compact package as opposed to this. To put in your range bag, it just takes up a little bit less space than a very rigid belt like this one. Their holster works a little bit differently too, and the most noticeable difference is that there's no muzzle support. The holster secures the pistol forwards and backwards, and just a small vertical lift is all that's required to remove it from the holster. For added security, you've got a lock, and now no matter what I do, it's well secured. But both Double Alpha and CR Speed make really good state-of-the-art systems today. I own both, I've used both, and they are both great. The lack of the muzzle support allows different lengths of Glock pistols, for example. A 19, a 17, a 34 will all fit the same holster without any adjustment, while on the CR Speed, the muzzle support gives a bit of additional security, but needs height adjustment if you change the length of the pistol. I don't like changing things around, so that's kind of why I ended up with one of these as well. You don't have to spend thousands on a complete competitive rig when you're getting going. A simple Kydex or leather holster that securely holds your firearm is all that you need, generally on your strong side. Cross draw is not allowed, shoulder holsters are not allowed. You want a little bit of space between your body and the pistol, but your normal daily carry holster can also work. Spare magazines on the other side, again an inexpensive solution with your normal belt that goes through your belt loops, keeps your magazines in place, and allows you to start competing in IPSC. Definite advantages from a speed and safety perspective, having the wonderful rigs available to us today. But if you're starting off like I did with something simple, you can really get going, spend your money on a reliable firearm, lots of ammo to practice or reloading components, and get your other equipment once you're up to speed. Whatever you need is available from Shooting Stuff. We're here giving you more time to shoot.